China is spying on the metaverse, and we have the story of a trader who got liquidated 14 times in one 24-hour period. You don't want to stick around so it doesn't happen to you. It's around the blockchain. I'm guessing that one has to sting a little bit, right? 14 times. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. We got a great show with some great guests. Let's just get right into it. He's never getting liquidated because he has those stop losses, folks. Talking about crypto, Lifer. Lifer, he should have been watching your stream, right?
Dude, how you not? I mean, I would have had Bookmap up. I would have saved him, man. I always laugh when I see stuff like that. I'm like, come on, man.
He tried to save you. Also, we got Corey. Just found out Corey actually likes Cardano. Is that going to be part of the CCC strategy?
That's right. That's right. I'm a big fan of Cardano. I'm glad to be here again.
All right. Spam your favorite coins. Start with the letter C. He might start covering it. Also on today, speaking of letter C, we have the Crusader, but not the kind from 700 years ago. That'd be bad. No, we're talking about the Crypto Crusader. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
How long was the Dark Ages? Was it really centuries? Who knows? Also on, we have Kevin. Kevin, are you still in Louisiana?
Absolutely. New Orleans, Louisiana.
All right. Can you tell the people in LA how to deal with the flood?
Oh, I got nothing for you guys. We're probably the last. Do the opposite of what New Orleans does. California, if you're listening, do the opposite of what Louisiana does.
All right. So do the opposite of getting drunk and throwing up in the street. All right. Shout out to the French Quarter. All right. Let's talk about China, though, spying on the metaverse. I actually did a typo today. My first note says China wants to spy on the meatverse. Well, that's what they're doing already. They're also trying to spy on the metaverse. They just put in some guidelines to a UN council for the United Nations here, and they want to propose global metaverse guidelines for United Internet Front here. This is for China Mobile. That is the CCP state-sponsored mobile provider for the country there. And they're vocal in stating the guidelines, but critics are saying this bears an eerie resemblance to their social credit score. China Mobile proposes a digital identity system, and for all metaverse users, would be based on a mix of natural, whatever that means, characteristics and social characteristics. A data point like your occupation could be stored in your metaverse's, say, character/avatar forever for the government to see potential employers for the end of time here. Now, under the Chinese social credit system, residents are ranked and scored based on behavior, occupation, social media activity, whether or not you speed, whether or not you jaywalk. There's all types. I think there's some jurisdictions, if you spit bubblegum out on the sidewalk, that will dock you. And here we actually have a picture. That's just a typical corner. I don't want to say typical, but that's a example of a corner of their, just a lot of cameras placed. Very, very heavy surveillance state there. Now, anybody, Corey, did you ever play Grand Theft Auto?
I did. I played it a couple of days ago, and I tried to do the
I was talking to one of the younger employees here. There was a period, I don't know, I think it was World of Warcraft, maybe it was one of the very first Call of Duties, but there was a period where Chinese users and American users and European users, we would all be on the same servers. China pretty quickly cracked down on their internet. We don't see it any longer. Well, now they want to get these guidelines. Everybody's going to play Kumbaya. Will Chinese citizens and you or me, will we ever be in the same Grand Theft Auto 6 lobby?
I think it really depends on the regime and the changes thereof. If China tends to stay despotic and tends to stay a communist state, then I don't think that we're ever going to be in the same servers ever again. I think that right now, with the way that they're going regarding internet crackdowns and draconian measures, I don't foresee any type of collaboration or consolidation between servers between the West and the East right now. I think that, unfortunately, there's a lot of adversarial perspectives and ideologies between the West and the East that would prevent that to begin with. And there's a lot of also cultural differences here. You brought up World of Warcraft, for example. So World of Warcraft, China has a whole different version of WoW surrounding its graphics because a lot, specifically with the undead, I mean, death is actually deemed like negative in the Chinese culture, so they don't have a lot of the same like undead characteristics that the Western version of World of Warcraft does. So to have the same servers surrounding Grand Theft Auto, I highly doubt that. I don't think that will ever happen, in my personal opinion.
All right, so if I go in a Chinese game and say it's a zombie shooter, I say Coral, they won't get it, huh?
No, they won't. Absolutely not.
Man, all the Rick memes are just
Unfortunately.
now wasted forever. All right, well, Crypto Lifer, I don't want to share too many details, but we were talking before the stream about a child of yours you watched. We won't say the age or too many details there, but my question for you: what metaverse would you want this child to spend a couple hours a day? And would you rather than be in an American server where we don't know what's going on, or a Chinese server where there probably is a little bit more control?
I mean, I hope my kid's never in the metaverse at all. Like my kid's 8, and a lot of my friends and the kids around me, the parents, they throw the iPad. We limit. I was very limited as a kid. We had Nintendo. I played Mario Kart, and then my dad was like, "Get out of the house." You know what I mean? And like, I didn't move on to Genesis. I didn't play Halo. I was out in the woods. I learned how to sail. I learned how to build things out of wood. Today, my daughter was in the backyard and she was making houses out of sticks and stuff. Like, she made a little village out of wood, like all the twigs she found in the wood. And I said, "Listen, you don't even need anything." I said, "You can play with nature." So, I mean, to answer your question, again, yeah, would I want her in a draconian, totalitarian metaverse, a Maoish metaverse? No way, And you have to understand, China comes from control. China comes from a system where if you start early, you maintain, right? And what I mean by that is the government knows that they want to keep you basically as powerless as possible. For whatever reason, they are afraid of the people gaining too much power, right? So right off the bat, if they see a new reality, they're going to want to already try to control it. So even, they're going to over control it. So even if they lose a little control, they'll still hold an extreme, because that's the way they think, right? That's the communist thought. It's still kind of inbred in that way of life. So horrible, scary thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, picture yourself just being stuck in a little box and only being able to do what they tell you to do. Imagine like spitting on the street and wondering if that was going to be documented. I mean, horrible, horrible, horrible. Like, that's not how we want to live.
Yeah,
So
could we pull up that photo with the cameras just one more time there? Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine every intersection just looking like that is bad enough. Speeding tickets don't feel American to me. I go real far, though. I don't even think we should be forced, adults at least, to wear a seatbelt. But, that's just me and my stupid libertarian ideals.
I like New Hampshire. If you want to wear a helmet on your motorcycle, if you like the
skull buckets,
because the second they started implementing those types of laws, like making your safety decisions for you, that's when government got, in my opinion, was going too far.
Yep. All right. It went downhill when they started pasteurizing our milk. I went there. All right. Well, Crusader,
I keep it raw all day long.
We're talking about government controls and where it can go and where it can lead. Well, there's a lot of critics saying America is trying to copy what the CCP is doing, and there's fears that America will have its own social credit system. Do you think we'll get a social credit system? And if so, what kind of timeline are you giving this?
I 100% believe we're definitely going to see a credit score system here in the United States. That's unfortunate, but that's the reality. What the founding fathers created has been crumbling every single step, every single year that we keep on moving forward with the way the administrations are moving. And no matter what the administration changes, the narrative is the same, and they're pushing only in one direction. That's more control and bigger government. So yes, it's going to come in. Yes, it's only a matter of time. And I do believe it's actually not that far out. And I would say that by 2040, we're going to see big moves in this. And it also depends on, how quickly can the dollar really collapse and get out of control for the Federal Reserve to be a credit score, right? The longer they can prolong the collapse of the dollar, the longer we'll see the social credit score system kick in. But when they lose control of the dollar, I would say by 2040, even if the dollar hasn't collapsed fully yet, we're going to see a lot bigger moves by then.
All right. One extra point for Crypto Lifer. Let's see. Green Square. Crypto Lifer, I agree. Look at reality, then imagine how the digital will be. All right. Well, Kevin, I want to talk about your favorite tech overlord. Of course, that's Mark Zuckerberg and his Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Will, let's say these guidelines do get passed by the UN, and then the UN watchdog, government agency here, they come to Mark Zuckerberg with his Oculus platform. Will Mark comply with the CCP standards, or will Mark fight it like he will Elon?
Well, Mark's not going to be fighting Elon. I think we both know that's not going to happen. And I can tell you right now, Mark Zuckerberg will change his Facebook status to China #1 if that happens. So you best believe that will happen, guys. George Orwell's 1984 wasn't supposed to be real life, y'all. It was just supposed to be a book.
All right.
Really?
China #1 social media post. Hey, who knows? Who knows? I think that might be LeBron James. I'm kidding. Kidding, folks. John Cena. We're talking about. I'm kidding. I'm joking. All right. Let's talk about something that's no laughing matter. And this guy that got liquidated 14 times. Let's just pull up this title. It's just really quite the headline here. This trader got liquidated 14 times in one day. Here's how much he lost: $432,000, almost $500,000. This is Andrew Kang. He's the founder of a PC firm, Mechanism Capital. I don't know how I'd feel if I was one of their LPs, if I just gave them, a big check of $5 million. And then seeing this headline the next day, that might make me pucker up a little bit. But on the 18th, he opened some longs in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Arbitrum. I'm trying to not laugh, but some of these trades were up to 100x leverage, folks. So we got up to 100x leverage, and then he went on to lose every single trade that he opened that day. There's a lot of losses that day too. One trader lost 55 million, but I don't think they did 100x or 14 trades right there. So a lot of pain was felt. Now, Lifer, I just want to ask you a simple question. What is up with 100x leverage? Is there ever a time, I mean, maybe it was a stop losses or any way you could justify 100x leverage?
No question with me is simple. I mean, honestly, we have some people in my trading group that use 200x leverage. But they do it they use demo trading for a month straight, and they enter the trade with $1. It's really crazy, right? So they enter the trade with $1. And once it goes down 10%, they're down 1,000%, but they're down $10. Then they add $10 to the trade. And then when the trade just goes up like 0.5%, they end up making like $50, $60, $80. It's kind of an insane concept. So if you know how to use a leverage, use it. But by all means, like, we have someone who teaches that, and you have to like study it for a month straight with a demo account before you even get in with real money, because you have to know how to handle being down. 100x is out of control. I mean, right here and there, I might use 40 to 60, but I'm not risking a lot. Leverage doesn't matter as long as you risk the same. I could trade spot and risk 10%, right? And I could put $1,000 in and risk $100, and then I could trade $500 at 10x leverage and risk the same $100 if my stop loss is the same. So as long as you have a proper stop losses in place, like you said at the beginning of the live stream, you'll be all right. This stuff is funny to me. I mean, why is this guy doing this? Like, he's revenge trading. He's going in and out. There's another guy. I don't know his name. Everyone knows him. I think he's Korean or Asian. I don't know exactly. I feel rude, and he just loses tons of money. Like, that's what he does. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. He just streams losing. Like, and the kids will come into my trading group, and they're just like, he did it again. He lost $2 million last night. I'm like, to me, that's why there's too many people. That's the problem with trading these days. Everyone wants fast money, quick, in and out, or they just do it for the actual adrenaline. Like, they don't even realize they're trying to change their lives. You can change your life with trading. Like, if you take it one step at a time and you really spend 4 years to make it work, you could change your life with trading. Get away from the adrenaline, get away from the rush, and make it something you do for a living. Everyone has a chance to become a great trader. Leverage takes away those chances if you don't do it responsibly.
Yeah. Well, Corey, I didn't even know I was going to go in this direction. How do you get rid of the rush? How do you get rid of that adrenaline? I've been there. I've seen, years ago, I got out of leverage trading for the most part. I might have a little bit of fun. I need to find a new thing. I used to use KuCoin, just a few $100. But I've watched trades in profit go all the way down, get liquidated. How do you stop that roller coaster of emotion?
I think it really comes down to two things: prudence and discipline. I think there has to be some acknowledgement when enough's enough on both the uptrend and both the downtrend, because the adrenaline is a two-way street. It's not just adrenaline kicks in when you're in the uptrend. It also kicks in when you're on the downtrend as well. And when you're in the downtrend, you don't know when enough's enough as well. And that can possibly go to zero, like what happened to this gentleman, unfortunately. And as a result of that, you can lose everything. I think that a lot of people who tend to be traders and lose everything, they tend to be very imprudent. They tend to be overly audacious, especially in bear markets, because of the fact that many people are trying to make back the money that they've lost.
think some lightning just hit us, folks. That was crazy. That was a close one, but we're still here. Corey, we managed to survive that. Quite the just the event there. All right, Crusader, we're just going to roll right into it. Maybe Kevin comes back. Maybe Lifer comes back. We're messaging them now. We just had a little vMix crash. Crusader, they call this catching a falling knife. I'm guilty of it. We're also asking why. Why was he insisting on catching a falling knife? I get the first one. I get the second one. What about the next 12 times?
Yeah, man. It happens.
You might be muted, or maybe that's just me.
Oh.
No.
His mic is low.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Now I can.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, this happens to anyone, right? The whole trading thing and losing money, and it's the adrenaline factors. Right? Losing, you never know when to cut your losses, and you keep getting in. You think that you can make the money back. Okay, I'll do another trade. I'll make the money back, and you start going full tilt, right? Just like when you're playing poker and you keep losing a hand, and you start to just nothing but lose. People need to learn how to cut their losses. There's traders and there's wannabe traders, right? That just try to gamble their way to the riches, but they end up in the rags. And it's one of these things that trading is very, very emotional, just like gambling, just like playing poker, just like anything that has to do with that kind of emotional. And if you don't know how to control those things, that's what happens when you then end up having 14 losses at 100x. You would think that he would eventually reduce leverage, right? If he knew what he was doing, but he just kept going in, back in at 100x because he thought he was going to make the money back, and he just ended up losing more and more. It's really, unresponsible. It's not responsible at all as a trader to do anything like that, especially somebody working at a VC or any big time company. So it's definitely something people need to pay attention to. If you want to be a trader, you need to learn that you're going to go in, you're going to lose a lot of money if you're very unresponsible very quickly. You need to go in very conservatively and know that this is a long-term play. It's going to take many years to master the skills that Crypto Lifer and many other traders have mastered. You're not going to become a professional trader in 3 months and get out, right? It just doesn't work that way. It takes time. You need to be patient. You need to be conservative with your capital.
All right. A great advice there. Just advice I didn't listen to, years ago. I was unable to listen to it. Now, Kevin, have you been able to master your emotions when it comes to trading? And what is your trading strategy?
Guys, I don't trade with leverage, but I did buy some Pepe, a meme coin. So I just kind of separate what is trading and what is gambling. And, like I like how you brought up playing Texas Hold'em or playing poker. It's like people get on tilt, and I think the last thing you want to do is if you're trading is to use leverage while you're in a losing trade. So I'd stay away from leverage, guys, and I will use leverage when we're in a confirmed bull market. It's pretty much that simple.
All right. Well, you might see all the points. Everyone got wiped to zero. We're starting with the third and final round here, folks. I see Crypto Lifer. He's shaking his head. He was in the lead. I'll tell you what, he gets a handicap. He gets a little handicap there. All right, well, let's talk a little about Friend.tech. Is it too soon? Is it too late? Should you ape in now? Should we all go buy Kobe shares right now, or FaZe Banks maybe? I think I choose Corey, or I think I choose Kobe over FaZe Banks personally, or an NBA player. But let's talk about Friend.tech. It was a social platform. It launched 10 days ago. They surged to over 100,000 addresses. We don't know the sort of total amount of people, actually beating the amount of ETH NFT buyers. So you can see the blue line right there. So a lot of buyers. So more buyers buying this one protocol's coin compared to the entire NFT market. So you get in, you sign up, and if you're a quote unquote influencer or any type of following, people can buy your shares. And then with those shares, maybe you get a private group chat. Maybe you buy everybody a mimosa at brunch, nice little meetup. It's totally up to the person. Maybe they don't do anything. Maybe you get their phone number. Who knows what it's going to be? But they generated more fees than Uniswap, more fees than Tron. Just in those 10 days, they've generated $25 million. The protocol, I think, has pulled in over $1 million itself. And some people are concerned, though, about the amount of data that they shared. It was a YFI dev shared that there was a little bit of a data scraping going on, and then that data scraping ended up getting leaked. Looks like it was the base wallet addresses and then the linked social media account to X, formerly known as Twitter. So all that info was then just published. I think the website with the list of everyone's addresses and accounts has been taken down. I haven't checked myself here. Now, Corey Costa, there's a lot of whispers of an older project, and they're wondering, is it the next one of that? I'm talking about BitClout. Is this the next BitClout?
It's funny you bring that up because there were many predecessors to Friend.tech that occurred in even 2016 and 2017 that I can relate this to. We had Steemit, we had InvestFeed. If you guys were here in 2017, InvestFeed was also another platform that tried to monetize content on the basis of SocialFi. I think that right now, with what's going on with the monetization of content with X, I think that we have a legitimate chance to see Friend.tech and other SocialFi platforms following suit surrounding what X is doing, because people have proven that they can make a living as a result of content creation. And I would say that a lot of crypto Twitter accounts, the larger crypto Twitter accounts, are able to make a living off of this. So I think that Friend.tech is another experiment in SocialFi, but it's becoming more and more obvious that SocialFi, like Friend.tech, could possibly be the new narrative that comes into blockchain as a result of the monetization of personality. So I think that it could possibly be the next BitClout. And if it's not Friend.tech, it'll be another one. It'll be a successor of Friend.tech. But I do think SocialFi is here to stay.
I know what I know who you'd buy, what share you'd buy. I'm just kidding. I don't know who you'd buy. I tell you who I want to buy. I want to get that guy. I don't even know his name, with the red hair, the rich man north of Richmond. I want to get that guy's share. He just seems like a cool dude. All right, now crypto lifer, there's a sports we talk about every now and then. I always throw out the Larry Bird reference. You watch a little bit of basketball here. Well, they pulled in an NBA athlete over the weekend, Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen hit. He quickly became one of the top 10 accounts, pulled in a new wave of interest, speculation. More NBA players are probably going to sign up over the next coming days. Can athletes keep this app alive? Because it went through crypto Twitter. Just as it maybe started to hit its zenith, an NBA player comes on, and now we got a second life. Are we going to see, Tom Brady join tomorrow? And will the athletes carry this to another level, to the next level?
I mean, two questions. Thank you so much for that question. It's awesome. I love this topic because I'm out here on my own, right? I'm an independent business owner, independent social guy. Like, I don't have a huge team, right? I'm just starting out. I've been out for like 4 years, really. I'm just building my foundation. Anytime I can over monetize the similar behaviors that I'm using and basically get even more revenue out of that, amazing. So I want all of this to go as soon as, because someone mute their mic. I'm getting a lot of background, but I'm seeing there's a lot of, anytime there's this type of buildup, I get excited for it because it means to me that there will be more opportunity for my business to grow, right? So this excites me. I get really, really happy for this. Now, in answer to your question, I think this does have staying power. Now, I want to know who the team is. I haven't really researched the team and who built this. Is there anyone from another social media platform? Is there any guy who was maybe, I'm in another coin called GFAL because there's a guy from EA Sports. Like, I try to find who did something years ago in that industry and see if they're pioneering something new. That has made me a lot of money in the past. Like, I invest on watching, someone who built a great company and seeing how they move forward to another group of tech. I was looking into that a little bit with what was it? Ecomi, right? Because it had this guy that had been in licensing for the last 20 years. So I thought Ecomi could do well, but it didn't. But we'll see maybe later on. Point of the story is, yeah, I think this has staying power, and I'm really excited for it. And I want it to have staying power because I want more opportunities like these for people out here. And all it takes is a couple more people to jump on. I didn't like that it did get the hack thing. It's sad that we had that pejorative news. But hopefully we can kind of brush that aside. It really only addresses and some emails. It's not the worst thing in the world. It could have been worse. So we'll go from there. Another one thing I want to say, I know I'm long-winded, is they just got the addresses. That's another good thing about decentralization. If it wasn't decentralized or wasn't in blockchain, they would have gotten people's home addresses and phone numbers, right? Now they just got you can always just change your MetaMask or get a new one if it got exposed. So even though crypto does show some history, I feel like it's a little better than the legacy system when it comes to information getting taken.
Yeah, a good distinction is wallet addresses, not where your kids get picked up from the bus stop or anything.
Totally.
All right. Well, Crusader, we just talked about athletes. Now I kind of want to talk about the e-gaming thing. We got FaZe Banks joined. He's dropped down a little bit after he joined. He was the number one influencer on the app. He passed Kobe. He passed the next highest person. Well, a huge influx just came from that guy. I want to ask you kind of a weird question here. will the social media, will Web3 apps onboard more gamers into ecosystem more than crypto gaming will onboard gaming into the Web3 ecosystem?
That's a very interesting question, right? It's very possible. Social media is so powerful right now, and the way Web3 is doing it. I mean, this is basically Friend.tech is basically a more centralized version of what Donald Trump did with his NFTs, right? He's selling NFTs of his likeness, and then people are being able to hang out with him or go to a dinner with him, whatever, same kind of benefits, right? Same thing that a lot of other NFT communities have done. This is a more centralized way, even though it's still Web3. And it can, like Leifer said, it has staying power. It can definitely onboard a lot more people than crypto gaming, right? Because crypto gaming is all based on making a lot of money from buying these assets and these NFTs to then go into these metaverses that are very isolated and they don't really interact, and the games take forever to develop. There's a lot of promises, right, in these Web3 gaming, versus this platform is a straightforward, community building platform on people that you already follow, you are already interested in, and it just allows you, it kind of compacts what NFT communities are trying to do into a more simple way that allows people to onboard faster than what the NFTs and what Web3 gaming has done in the past.
All right, let's do a quick light check. We got about 500 watching past the lightning strike that shut us down. But guys, we only have 176 likes. Let's get that up. 24 more, we hit 200. All right, well, Kevin, I know it's impossible to predict, but right now we're in this Friend.tech hype cycle. My question to you, how much longer do you predict this hype cycle to last?
Well, first of all, guys, apparently my social credit score has been dinged because I'm at 0 points right now. But as far as the Friend.tech thing, I mean, Grayson Allen, I mean, ain't that the dude that was kicking everybody or something? So I don't know if him joining the platform is really going to take it off. But if he's able to make profit on it, I would think that you'd see a lot more athletes. But I think the esports gamers, them coming into the platform could really elevate it. It's a really interesting concept. It kind of reminds me a lot of when Facebook came out. Remember when Facebook first came out, you had to have a .edu, you had to have a college email to join it. So I kind of like that exclusiveness concept of it, but also the ability to be able to sell your likeliness, be able to sell access. I think it does have staying power, but you know how it is in Web3. There's always something new and better that comes out probably next week. So we'll see.
All right. Yeah, I remember they were adding new EDUs, like just Harvard and Stanford. I remember like hitting refresh, like, when will they have my school? Never did. They never did. I ended up just signing in with my stupid Hotmail account. All right, folks, that is all we have time for. And that extra point ended up pushing Leifer ahead. Guys, it was a great episode. Do you have a Friend.tech? Show your codes, I guess, in the bottom if you want. I will say this quick prediction. I saw this with Steppen. I've seen this with our plan. I've seen this multiple times in any kind of DeFi Web3 thing. There's a bottleneck of entrance, meaning, hey, I'm fighting for my code. I'm fighting for the access pass. I'm fighting for this email from the devs. Usually after that opens, it's dead within a week. I'm sorry, the drawdown begins a week after that. That's normies get in, you start getting dumped on. So if it's super easy for you to get in, might be a little risky. If it's hard for you to get this Friend.tech, the harder and the longer it is to remain difficult, the more this will go up, folks. All right, just kind of a little, just my 2 cents. Being here, been around, and I can tell you, poop's brown. But I tell you, who's going to end up with the final sound? It is Crypto Leifer. Feel free to hold it down.
So my mom painted these lemons. You can't see them because they look like the green screen, but these are 3 lemons in a dish. All right. I just want to let you guys know. My mom paints. I just want to accentuate her painting. She knows I love lemons. She painted some lemons. Everyone, if one, I just want to say a little off topic, but if there's someone that you haven't reached out to in a long time, this is a brother or a sister. Maybe you haven't talked to them in 4 or 5 years. Maybe it's an estranged father or mother. Give them a phone call, reach out to them. Maybe they'll still blow you off, but at least you did your thing. I just wanted to say that. I don't know why. Maybe God wants me to say it today. So, spread the love, everyone. We're going through this. The halving is coming in, basically in under a year. You're here less before halving. You're in a very, very good place. So they're going to throw fear at you. They're going to make you feel like you're in the wrong place when you're in the right place. Remember that. Kind of what DZ was saying. If you're feeling like it's wrong, then it's right, baby. So,
All right, that does not apply to everything, folks. That does not apply to everything. Consent is key. All right, that's all we got on that note. Why did I even take it there? Hit the like button if we made you smirk. All right. Adios.